Snoogs, I hear you have a who the f*** said that for us this week.
I do have a who the said that.
Fine, you do it then. I won't have to do it later.
All right. A hero need not speak. When he is gone, the world will speak for him.
I said that.
You said that?
Yeah.
That's very noble of you.
What was it again?
A hero need not speak. When he is gone, the world will speak for him.
Mass Effect.
I feel like I know this one.
It was.
It feels like it should be.
Everyone
Destiny.
here knows it. Everyone in
Yeah.
here.
It's for a character that doesn't speak through the game, right?
Nah, well, yes and no.
Sir
But
Francis
it's
Drake.
not like a Destiny sort of character.
Sure.
Yeah, but
It's the strong silent type.
yeah, no. I'm getting lost whether he's. No. He does speak. He does speak.
I'm glad you
I'll
know
just
the
leave it at
answer to it yourself. I got no idea who the f*** said that.
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
More at the end. Stay tuned.
We'll find out who it is in last words. This is episode 213, and today is Wednesday, the 16th of May, 2018. Welcome to the Aussie Gamers Express video game podcast. I am your host, Lucas, and here with me is my co-host and very good friend, Snoogs. How are you, mate?
Oh, good buddy. How about yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. My eyes are getting better. What was that?
Happy Hump Day.
Hump day, yes, okay.
Yes. Not that that matters to you, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's every day's hump day. Rabbits. All right. Also, here with me is the lovely and the amazing Remutha.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Are we going to have like a special guest this week?
Yes, we do have a silent ring in this week.
Let's hope she stays silent.
Oh, I don't know.
For now.
I don't know how silent. I'm hoping she's not. I want to hear from her.
Well, you might get lucky.
What's her name again?
To be continued.
Ooh, all right then. Well, lovely to have you back. And last but not least, it's the man that uses mashed potatoes to clean his shoes, Grejio.
Okay then.
How very Irish of you.
I know. It's almost like.
Oh,
No, I
like
could.
it's peering into my soul. What?
I know. That's why I'm speechless. I'm like, yeah, I'm really good, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think
I'm happy to be back. I'm speechless, but I'm happy to be back.
I'm glad to have you
Clean
back.
shoes.
Don't ask what that introduction was all about, because I don't even know. I think the oxygen levels in this room are either way too high or way too low. I'll see if I can adjust that for next week. All right, before we start, here is this week's show in preview. First up, we're going to do video game discussion, and then we're going to do What If? Then we'll do What's That Sound and Last Word. So let's go straight into video game discussion. Right, Snoogs, you and I have been playing a very special game that we've got really, really early before release.
Yes,
It's called State of Decay 2.
Yes.
Now, technically right now, at the start of the show, I said it was 16th of May, which is before the embargo. But this show is this portion of the show is being recorded in private, so nobody can hear us talking about it, because we're not allowed to talk about it. It's a little bit like Fight Club right now, isn't it? It's pretty cool.
Yes. Sneaky.
Yeah, a little bit of the Tyler Durden in all of us. But anyway, so let's get into it. We've been playing it. I have smashed it. I've put 15, maybe 20 hours into the game now, I think something like that. And I also finished the review for it today. So I'm very open for questions. And I'm going to start off by asking you some questions, Snoogs.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was clunky.
It was.
What do you mean?
It felt very clunky. It felt slow. The frame rate was terrible. The polish was terrible. In all honesty, I think this is the reason that I was very much against the mid-season refresh. because a lot of stuff that I've seen with it being on an Xbox One X, on an OG Xbox though, not so much.
Wow. Okay. I haven't tried it on my Xbox One S yet. I probably should, because what you're saying. Let's just say that the X and all that sort of stuff wasn't in it. We both played it on the same console. I'd be saying you need your head read, because it doesn't feel clunky. The frame rate has no issues whatsoever, and the graphics look fine to me. But for argument's sake, I guess I've got to give you benefit of the doubt, because we have played it on two different powered systems. I've been playing it on the Xbox One X, and I've had no issue with it.
I don't get me wrong. The game itself, I had an absolute ball. I'm having an absolute ball with. I absolutely love it. But if I was to put the review hat on and go to pick it apart, I could really go to town.
Wow, because I couldn't. I struggled to all of my reviews. I always hunt for negative things to say, because I want to come across as very sort of even playing field, not a fanboy or anything like that. And I found it quite tricky, because, yeah, like I said, I didn't find it clunky. I played the original game, and that's dated. This is better. I don't know. Tell me more. What more would you pick it apart for?
I never played the original, so I don't have a point of reference. The only point of reference I've got are other games that are kind of in the same sort of vein. But I had a lot of rubber banding issues, a lot of frame drops when...
That was just with the online, yeah?
With the online stuff, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it's stuff that I don't get in other games. The graphics themselves frustrated me the same way as the graphics on PUBG does. Yeah, to put it very quickly, I kind of felt like I was playing a last gen game.
See, sometimes people can get confused with what the graphics are really displaying and what the animations are showing.
Yep.
Is it the graphics or the animations that are disappointing? Because I think PUBG has great graphics, but shoddy animation and control.
Yeah, we'll see. The big thing with PUBG, for instance, is, you know, stuff like the outline and of what's around you, the outline of the character. The character doesn't seem clear. The animation itself, the movement, that again was a bit jittery, but I think that's solely to do with the power of the one. It's just, it looked old. That's the only way I can really describe it, is it looked old.
You see, I disagree. I like the look of it. I think the lighting gives it a lot of fidelity. I think the graphics, the art style, I think it's reasonable for a game that's not a AAA title. We're not looking at a game like Heavy Rain or Detroit Become Human here. It's a very, very different style of game. And the original game was an Xbox Live Arcade game. It was just I can't remember how much it was, $15 game, and away you go. It's not. The best way that I described it was by saying, and this is what Microsoft are doing with a lot of their games, they're small budget games, small budget development, massive budget marketing, which sometimes gives the impression to people that this game is, a massive AAA title, and it's not. It was never going to be. But that marketing sort of confuses people into thinking different things about the game, and can be a bad thing. It'll get sales, but people are going to be disappointed like you.
Oh, take that straight out of it, though. I am not disappointed.
Oh, yeah, good. Very good.
I am not disappointed. It's one thing I wanted to ask you about the lighting, though.
Cool, go ahead.
While you've got the torch that you sort of have on your belt from your backpack, right? That you can turn on and off. When yours was on, did you get black lines flicking through it?
No.
Like it would be. there was two trains of thought when it was happening to me. It's either something in front going past, like another piece of cloth or something, flicking past the light,
Okay, yeah.
or it's animation frame.
Okay. No, I didn't see any of that. Once again, that might be a graphical glitch, and the difference between the power of the X and the 1.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I think there is a big thing there. It seems to be very much, and from all the video that I've seen, I've watched a bit of your stream from last night as well. Excuse me. Yeah, very different. Very different in how they look and how they seem to run. The rubber banding was a bit annoying, but again, it's pre-release. It's just that's kind of what happens occasionally with online games.
There's a chance. Not that I'm making excuses for it, but look, this is just me being objective and just trying to think of what could be reasons there. It hasn't released yet. It's still a little bit. It's 2 days away from the early release, I believe it is. I think the early release is the 18th, and then you're looking at the 22nd for the standard game. All of the servers may not be on, so we may be using servers that are further away than necessary. I don't know. Just sort of spitballing there.
Yeah. So while I want to outline those points, which can be taken as a negative, but you also flip it around into just how much fun the game is. Yeah,
it is a good fun game.
We played for 4 hours pretty much non-stop last night.
Yeah.
This is during the week where we've got to get up and go to work the next morning, but it was, no, I don't want to stop yet.
Yeah, and
I don't want to stop yet. I just want to get going.
That time flew too. That
kind of blinked and looked at the counter at the top of the stream and I've been doing this for 3 hours and 54 minutes or something. Yeah.
But State of Decay 2 is that kind of game where you will catch yourself, or you need to catch yourself, because it's very easy to go, I'll just do one more thing. I'll just go and get one more thing. I'll just go and do this one more thing. And before you know it, you've spent an extra hour and a half.
Yeah,
and
very much so.
It's very hard to just put down, because there's just so many things to look after and so many things that you can go and get done, where you're like, it was actually a battle, because the last few days that I've been playing it to get it done to get enough knowledge for the review, and I've had to do other things in my life, like go to the toilet, have a shower, all of that stuff, and
be human, yeah.
It puts your life on hold. I don't know. There was probably 2, maybe 3 occasions where I extended my gameplay time to the point where I was crossing my legs and fidgeting so bad in my seat that other people in the house were getting concerned and suggesting possibly you probably might need to go to the toilet. And but I got nearly finished.
I don't want to. I got to do this last bit.
So it is that kind of game. It's very addictive. It's very fun. It's very rewarding. And it's also very demoralizing too when you do lose a character, because that's another point to mention: permadeath. Yes.
We only lost one last night.
Yes. And that character's gone. So if you've played for 30 hours, like you have multiple characters, so you sort of recruit people from around the world that start off as just friends, and once you get to know them well enough, you can invite them to come stay with you, and they become a playable character. But your other characters, say, you might have one from the very beginning where you've put 30 hours into it. If you get overwhelmed and that player dies, all of his stats, all of his awesome abilities, they're all gone.
Yep.
Gone. Good thing is you can go and loot their bodies and take the guns and stuff, so that's cool. But that character is gone. I don't know what happens if they all die. I'm assuming that's maybe game over, or it might give you another just generic character to continue on. So I don't know if you lose your base, because I didn't have the guts to kill them all off. So I don't know.
For the review.
No, not happening. I like the game. If I didn't like the game and wasn't going to play it beyond review, yeah, I would.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't a game that I'm going to review and put away. This is a game I want to keep coming back to because it's really good. And I loved the first one, and it always had that thing. It just needs co-op. There have been that many times where people have said to me, "Oh, have you got State of Decay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And they're like, "Oh, do you want to play it?" I'm like, "What, co-op?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "You do realise it doesn't have co-op?" And they're like, "What? Doesn't it?" No. And it's just a surprising thing for a lot of people because it's a game that would have lended itself 100% to co-op the whole time. But now that State of Decay 2 has it, it's, I think, the complete package. I love it.
I do have a couple of questions myself as well.
Sure.
Last night we stuck to, or while we were originally streaming it, and before it releases, I dare say we'll continue streaming it this way. We stuck to pretty much just clearing out the area.
Yeah, you're just doing infestations that pop up and doing the plague hearts and stuff. Yep.
Yeah. So, is there a story in it? Is there like a storyline, whether it be loose or whatever? But is there a storyline to?
There's
like does it have an endpoint?
Well, I don't know because there are that many branching stories. So I don't look the different survivors have their own little agendas, and there is a main mission. But the main missions, they're massive, dude. Like, I don't know if I held off my review until I'd completed all of it. I don't know if I'd have done it in the next month, you know, like, because it starts, like, the mission that I'm up to won't let me progress until I've cleared out all the plague hearts.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay, and I don't know where they all are, so I'm slowly... And we destroyed probably 6 or 7 of them last night. Or I've done 6 or 7 total. And, yeah, so there's just so much to do. I can't tell you what endgame would be like. And I can't tell you if it's any good either, which is probably a good thing, because you don't want to spoil it for anyone. But
no, exactly.
If anyone finds out, let me know. No, don't let me know. Don't spoil it for me. I'm going to find out. But yeah, it's definitely worth the play to get to there to find out. But yeah, there's a lot of game, a lot. It's easily 100, 200 hours that you could put into that without running into the same stuff.
And I think you'd be in the same ballpark as me here with co-op is a must.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
100%. I've not laughed that much in a long time.
It was fun. It was fun.
Admittedly, it was yourself, Uncle Chunt, and I, pretty much being gooses for 4 hours. But it was still good fun. We were able to, pull up somewhere and have something scream, "Shut up! Kill it! Kill it!" Oh, look at this. We're all being swarmed. So what does Snoogs do? Oh, Molotov. Stop, drop, and roll.
As much as that was extremely dangerous, and don't do that ever again, that kind of worked.
It worked. I'm pretty sure I was the only one out the front roll of fire anyway.
Yeah, I only took tiny damage, so it worked.
I had to come up flashing on the screen to push A to stop, drop, and roll. That's what it said on the screen. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was flaming like the Human Torch, just running across the front lawn.
Now with co-op, look, the game is very playable on your own, but there are certain circumstances that are quite overwhelming, and it's too dangerous. You probably want to try and get a buddy, and you can bring in random people. You can call for help, and it'll bring in a random person, or you can offer assistance, which is obviously putting yourself up to be brought into somebody else's game. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. It's not like you have to find friends to play with. It's got matchmaking.
One thing just a bit of a public service announcement though.
Yeah.
If you are not the host, none of it counts.
No, not none of it. Some of it counts.
Like you get to keep some of your loot and your XP. Because I know a few times when I dropped loot back, it said, "You have donated to Luke One's whatever."
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I don't want to donate. It's mine.
Yeah, you could probably keep what you're carrying.
Yep.
And
yeah, you do. After you you guys logged off last night, there was still 12 people in my stream. So I went. They're like, "Oh, can you show us just where you start?" So I'm like, "Yeah, all right, no worries." So we walked around and had a look, and I still had all the bits and pieces that I was carrying at the time that we finished.
Yeah, good. Okay. And also, through playing, you're going to increase the stats of your player, agility and stamina and all that sort of stuff, and strength are all going to increase. That obviously comes with you. It stays with your character. But also, public service announcement, if you join somebody else's game and you're a guest and you die, that character is gone.
Gone.
So death, no matter which way you look at it in State of Decay 2, is permanent. And I kind of like that because it gives you just that sense of careful, I better take it easy here.
Not that I really used any of that last night.
Well, I did. It was my cars that you were blowing up, so whatever.
Oh, bullshit. I found the Dean and Sam mobile, and then Uncle Chunt got behind the wheel and first corner. Oh, sorry, I buggered it. Oh, it used to be straight. Yeah, not anymore.
and then Uncle Chunt felt bad about destroying my car, so he went and found me an awesome muscle car.
Yeah, destroying your car. It was my bloody one. I found it.
Yeah, but it's in my game. You can't take it anyway.
I don't care. Do you really think I would have left it there for you? No, I wasn't going to.
Well, you can't. You can't take it.
I wasn't going to take it either. But if I can't have it, no one can. What
I understand is I think there's a finite number of vehicles in the game. I don't think they respawn. I think they are where they are, and that's it. That's the feeling I get from it, because there are vehicles that I keep seeing. They don't move. They stay there. And all the cars that I've brought back home, and I've just parked them around my area. There's two parking spaces at my base, and I've got about 5 cars. So you don't have to park them in a specific place to save them or anything. They just stay. They just stay where you park them. That
puts a whole nother spin on everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a feat, and also like the husks, the dead bodies of the zombies. Although they do despawn, they stay there for a long time. Where they drop,
notice that,
where they drop, they stay for a long time, and I don't see that very often in games these days. Normally they despawn like in front of you, right there. But the zombies they're there for a while, which is pretty impressive.
I do hope you've got some video of the bloater when we ran into it.
I do.
Exploded into the great fart gas.
Yes, I didn't use it in the review. I forgot about it.
No!
Yeah, the part where we hit the bloater, and I'm like, "Well, everyone out! And drop me guts."
Everyone out.
Because if you run over a bloater, the gas goes inside the car, and you take damage inside the car. You have to get out. So it's like someone dropped their guts. You're like, "Whoa! Bleh, put the window down."
The fact is, you jump out, and as your characters are walking away, they're all over on their haunches going,
yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's nasty. Oh, dear. But anyway, I'm loving it. My review will be out by the time this drops on Sunday. It'll be up on YouTube. Go and check it out. There'll be a link in the description to the podcast. Anything else to say about that one?
No. No. It's I think we covered it all. It's a bit of fun. I don't know how much I'll play as a single player, but the future holds that answer. I guess I'll just see how much I get into it. Yeah,
I'll play it heaps. I can't wait to start playing it again. I was actually disappointed I didn't have time to play it today because I was editing the review and also had another review that I'm working on as well. So I haven't played anything today. It's starting to shake. Need my fix. But anyway, all right. So that'll do for State of Decay, which means because we're finishing our embargo talk, let's take a quick second to switch over to the other chat. All right. What else have we been playing?
So good.
God of War.
Oh,
I have finished God of War.
Had you not finished it last week?
No, I'd gotten to a point where it wasn't much left, and I went, "Ooh, what's that shiny thing over there?"
Right. So you found out that
Yes.
Anakin is Luke's father?
Yes.
Spoiling the 70s again.
The Darth Vader created C-3PO.
Yeah.
Wait, he did what?
He did what now?
Exactly.
How do you know that?
Just magic.
Is that true?
Are you just screwing with me now, or?
Tell me, is it true?
Yes, it's true.
Okay, good.
Okay.
What?
You're screwing me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
Anakin, the little boy made him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who he is?
Anyway, yeah, God of War was really good.
God of Star Wars?
Oh boy.
Yes. Terrible boy.
Atreus,
Finished it all.
I am your father.
Boy, I am your father.
Oh, so, Snoogs, what'd you play this week? Serenity Now.
Serenity Now.
So, tell us how did God of War go for you?
God of War went very well. I didn't actually pick the ending. I thought I was a bit closer with my idea of what was happening.
You're too busy picking your nose.
Oh, picking me butt.
Shiny things.
Anything the finger.
Just make sure you pick your nose first. If you do it the other way around, ooh, stanky.
Ooh.
That burns.
The way that it all actually finished and tied up, and the whole story sort of tied itself together, it actually it worked out really well. It sort of threw me for 6, especially with the whole way that Atreus was sort of growing. I thought there was going to be something a bit more from him.
Growing. Was it big ending, was it?
It was a good ending.
Gigantic proportions.
You've completely thrown me off my God of War thing. I had all
Was
this
it
stuff
good?
in my head.
Did you like the ending?
It was good. I loved the ending.
Okay.
So much so that after it's finished, I've gone and done a couple of other little things. One word of warning to everybody: even once the game finishes, do not put it down. You have to do a few more things, which you'll work out in the process of what you need to do, and just let your natural instincts and your natural curiosity take over.
Yeah. Think of
just go and do it.
Think of it like a Marvel movie. Once the credits roll, keep going.
Indeed.
Okay. I've got some news. There's a ton of new footage. It's alpha footage for Days Gone. Have you guys seen it?
Mm-hmm.
No, I have not.
For anyone that hasn't, go on YouTube and just search up Days Gone, and you'll see like there's the first hour from like Game Informer or something like that, and it shows off quite a bit of the game, and it's basically The Last of Us. Except you get to ride a motorbike.
Oh, okay.
Looks good. I think it looks pretty damn good. It doesn't seem to have that polish of The Last of Us, but it looks like they've taken a lot of inspiration from it. And they're saying that it's a very linear game despite the open world design. Another thing I really like. I like the sounds of that. And it's not going to have a difficulty option. The developer said, nah, that's an easy way out. You can play our game the way we intend it. It's hard. So.
Cool.
There you go. But, I don't know. There's a fair bit of stealth involved, and if you can pull off stealth, it's usually not that hard, but maybe there's some forced action areas that might be tricky. But yeah, check that out. I'll chuck a link in the description as well for that one. So you can check out Days Gone. All right, who's next?
Warmind.
Destiny 2.
Let's discuss that.
All right. I don't know about discussing it, but I'll listen to you talk about it.
I will discuss
I
it.
got an email from Bungie today with a bit of news about it too, yeah.
Fair enough. Well, I've spent the best part of this week playing Warmind. So I've easily chucked in about 20 plus hours into this already. So I think I've got my head around it for the most part. So for those that don't know, Destiny 2's had its now second DLC, which is its third season, they're calling it, which is called Warmind. It's made up of 5 new missions. Two
Mars, isn't it?
Set on Mars. 2 of those missions include 2 new strikes. There's a new raid lair, a bunch of new loot, including exotics, weapons, armor, and all that bollocks. They now have ranked PvP matches. They have introduced a new PvP scoring system, broken up into 2 things called Glory and Valor. They have a new patrol area on Mars, and there's a new Horde mode public event called Escalation Protocol. So, getting stuck into it, let's just go with pros and cons. So I'll go with the pros. They have reworked the exotic weapons for this DLC, and it's really good. Let's put it this way. I haven't used exotic weapons since D2 dropped, really, unless it was my highest light level weapon. I haven't really used them. I've got my trusty weapon set that I use, and it's boss as hell. I haven't really played with them. I'm starting to rethink that I might need to start playing with some exotics because the rework on them is really good. I've tried the Graviton Lance, which is a pulse rifle, Void pulse rifle that was just any old pulse rifle when D2 dropped. They've now buffed it a little, and now when you kill anything, it explodes in a big explosion of void energy. So when you've got a group of enemies, this works really well. I've also given the Skyburner's Oath, that's it. I've given it a crack. They've made that like an exploding, almost a grenade launcher scout rifle kind of thing, which has it's a bit more lobby now. It lobs the weapon, the rounds more than just fires them, but it feels heavy and it feels like it's really punching hard now. So that's really good. There's a new one I've tried called the Worldline Zero, which is a new exotic sword. It feels good too. It's got an exotic feature called, you can do it, what they call a Tesseract. I don't know why they've decided to rip that name off, but that's what it is. It's kind of like a teleporting move. One of them is you can teleport forward in like a lunge, and another one is like a area effect sort of damage mode kind of thing. Either way, it feels good. Feels solid. I like it. What next? The escalation.
Sweet Business. Have you used that one?
No, I haven't used Sweet Business yet.
Can I interject with a question?
Sure.
The Tesseract. You said not sure why they ripped off that. What's that?
The Tesseract is in like Marvel Universe, the blue Infinity Stone.
Okay, I thought I'd heard of it before. After you said it, I googled it. A Tesseract is actually just a geometrical shape.
Well, there you go. Even then, that makes even less sense to me because it's not like the attack is geometrically shaped.
It's a cool word, though.
Maybe they're just, it's Bungie. They can do whatever they like.
For those that are interested,
this many times over.
A Tesseract is the 4-dimensional analog of the cube. The Tesseract is to the cube as the cube is to the square. That makes sense.
Good eye.
Wow.
As terrible as it sounds, it actually does make sense.
Okay.
That's really deep.
But yeah, there's a lot of things where they sort of steal names, because did you know, sorry to railroad a bit, but I find it interesting, what's Mjolnir? Do you know what Mjolnir is?
Yeah.
It's the hammer.
Thor's hammer.
Thor's hammer. It's also the name of Master Chief's armor.
Yeah.
There you go. Bungie. Bungie have always kind of
been the same material.
There you go.
There you go. All right, sorry, continue.
So, That's right. My next pro is actually Escalation Protocol. Funnily enough, as much as before Warmind dropped, I went, oh great, they've added the Horn mode. Who cares? As a public event goes, they've managed to really make it work well. It's kind of like Archon Forge / Court of Oryx in previous DLCs in Destiny. But unlike those, you don't need a currency to start them. And because they're not in their own individual space, you tend to have a lot more through traffic of other Guardians who then just want to join in. So having 9 people play in Court of Oryx was unheard of. Like, you might get 6 people, 7 if you're really, really lucky. But that was a rarity. You'd end up with usually your fire team and maybe 1 or 2 other people. 5 was pretty good. If you got 5, you're happy. In this, I've heard of teams of 9 people doing escalation protocols. So in that, it's really good. I really like it. Ranked matches. Pretty much the community's been asking for ranked matches for as long as D1's had a PvP. It's taken them 3 years, but they finally got around to making one. So awesome. Collectibles. They've added collectibles back into Destiny.
Oh, wow.
One of the things that I really enjoyed in Destiny 1 was the collectibles. So you had your Grimoire, you had your calcified fragments, your Siva nodes, all those
Gold chests, yeah.
Gold chests. They had gold chests at the beginning, but they've now added more of that. So there's now data caches that you can collect. There's 45 of them. If you get 35, you get the exotic sword I was talking about, the Worldline Zero. If you get 45...
How the hell is that an afterthought? How is that not in the game from day dot? Seriously.
Look, I'm getting to my cons. Don't worry. Trust me, there are some serious cons with this. And if you get 45, there's a exotic sparrow you can get, which is pretty cool. It doesn't look like any other sparrow I've seen to date. I got it. It's freaking awesome. Until I get bored of it and just go, oh, yeah, okay. They've made another reskin of the same thing 100 times over and ruin it like Destiny does, like Bungie does. All right, getting to my cons. And you'll start to see a repetition of pros and cons here. So my first con is exotics. As much as they've reworked them and made them really good, what is shitting me something fierce is that the major exotic for this DLC is the Sleeper Simulant. For everyone that's played Destiny, they know that's a Destiny 1 gun. They have finally gone, all right, we're going to put this in the game in Season 3 behind a quest. Ranked matches. So as good as ranked matches are, and it's really nice that they've put them in. My issue with this is the matchmaking is terrible. So I was talking about the Glory and Valor thing. They're now scores that give you levels, which gives you more loot, right? So Valor is for non-competitive play. So they'll score you, win or lose. You'll get points and you'll go up the ladder. Not a problem. So that's for the average players that they just want to churn through the games and earn levels and earn loot and not be worried about it. For the hardcore PvPers, they've got Glory. This scores you if you win and you get points, but if you lose points. Okay, fair. They then add a winning streak. So the more you win in a row, the more points you get per win. Inversely, there's a loss streak. So the more you lose in a row, the more points you lose each time you lose. Once again, this is fair. I don't have a problem with this. Once you put bad matchmaking into this, and by bad, I mean if you're playing by yourself and you just matchmake with a team, Bungie has this really bad habit of putting 4 randoms up against a team of 4. Yeah. You're always going to lose. And when you're playing by yourself, more chances than not, you're going to end up against teams and lose. And if you've got a losing streak, you now all of a sudden go from one session of playing PvP where you've lost half your glory all because of bad matchmaking. So Bungie need to fix that. They need to have matchmaking for teams versus individuals and separate them up, or get rid of streaks. That's the other way of fixing it. Because I just don't see it being fair for individuals to be punished because they're playing by themselves versus people who, and inversely, the teams are going to go through and walk through these teams and just grab glory like it's going out of fashion. So once again, Bungie have screwed that up as well.
So we can just all agree that it's a shit game and we can just play other things that we like?
Look.
That's fair, isn't it? Not
it's
really.
getting to that point.
You know what?
Has it gotten to the point where it's not building anymore? It's just gone stale?
So I was... And once they iron out the bugs, I think it will become... It's going to get to the point... And I really hate that I have to say this. This is the bit that shits me the most, is it's going to take them that long to get it back to where Destiny 1 was at the end of Destiny 1, where it was an amazing game to play. It just took them forever to get there. And I have this funny feeling, and my point that I was going to make is that this DLC, more than ever, feels as though the DLC was made before they even released Destiny 2, because so many things that people are bitching about and want things fixed aren't fixed in this, because from my point of view, this was built before they even got to the people whinging about it. And so it literally looks like they're just ignoring everyone. And I think they're trying to release it out in this they've got a roadmap. They've put out a roadmap of where they're going in the future, going into season 4, like kind of thing, where they're talking about the things they're going to fix. And the roadmap looks good. But it's essentially, it's going to bring it back to where they were at the end of Destiny 1. Right. And I find it really hard that it should have been there from day one. Look, to be fair...
What's your blood pressure like? Seriously?
No, to be fair, as much as... Look, for the hardcores, for people like me, this is enough to keep you going for another month. And then you'll drop off again. Like you have throughout, this seems to be par for the course in Destiny 2. I was the hardcore. I bought the gold edition, so I got all the DLCs. I've paid for them. I'm the dickhead. So I have to play to get my money's worth out of it. Is it worth $20? Like, I think I can't remember what it actually is, the DLC itself. Is it worth the amount of money that you pay for the DLC individually? I say yes, because you get enough play time out of it. Right, I think you get enough things to do, but is it worth your time and effort investing in Destiny 2 again? If you haven't already, I suggest you don't, because as far as I'm concerned, Bungie have spent their entire time lying to their fan base, and they've pretty much shit the bed as far as I'm concerned.
It's coming from a big fan. All right.
Yeah, coming from someone that spent 4 years playing this game pretty religiously, I'm not buying Destiny 3.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to something happy. Can we talk about something happy?
Fortnite.
Yay! Sorry, Greg. I reckon if I'd let you would have went for all night. So
I actually only have one more point, but it's all good.
That's all right. Maybe another occasion. I think. Tell us about Fortnite, Snoogs.
I had a fleeting moment, a very, very fleeting moment on Fortnite the other night. I became Thanos.
Oh, did you? I did. That's what I was hoping. I was going to ask you about that. And how did you go?
Badly. I got a few, but
how can you screw that up? It's literally click your fingers. Half the field's dead. Like, that's not how it works.
There's still 50 of them, then.
Yeah, it's not quite easy.
And then you click it again, there's 25. Click it again, there's 12 and a half. Click it again, there's 6 and a quarter.
I was in an area where there was a lot of people, and together we dropped him. I just happened to be closest.
And grabbed it.
And got the glove. Took off up into the sky. Thought, there's a lot of people here. I'll do my falling smash. And did my falling smash and hit about 3 of them. And everyone else took me down. So
So the way that works, I watched a video of a guy playing it. So basically, you start the game as normal. Thanos is just what? Just a computer-controlled character to start off with?
Nope. The gauntlet actually falls to Earth.
Oh,
so
okay.
If as soon as you jump out of the bus, if you get your glider out and just sort of hang around up the top, you'll actually see it come screaming in.
Oh, okay. So just
that
first
way you can actually go for it.
First in, best dressed, and you get full health, full shield. But
instead of it being 100, it's 300
and
points. I hit points.
You can refill your shield by killing people.
Yep.
And if your shield depletes and you lose your health, the health doesn't come back. You can refill the shield, but you'll still have half health.
Yep.
But that's the idea. So you do have an advantage, but it's not impossible to take down Thanos, right?
No, so it's not impossible. So what happens is you find the gauntlet and you turn into Thanos.
And you actually are Thanos as well, which I didn't know that was going to be a thing. Yeah, nice.
So then when you hit the ground, so you don't take fall damage. You're pretty much shooting like a laser out of the gauntlet. But
you can't build.
One kills. Yeah, no building, but one hit kills as well. So if you throw a punch at someone and hit them, then they're dead.
Yeah. What happens if you go outside the storm?
I didn't do that. I haven't seen anyone do that.
Because I think you do lose health. Because the guy that I was watching, the video I was watching, he was saying it's quite tricky when it comes towards the end. Because if you're down the bottom of a hill, and you're stuck and can't jump high enough, you can't build. So it gets really tricky. You have to make sure you get up to the high ground.
Okay. Yep. Well, you can jump up into the sky, so there's no problem there.
But can you jump taller than the highest mountain?
I could jump pretty high. Because you can smash back down to the ground.
Yeah, I was watching it. I don't know.
You can't go up into the stratosphere, but
yeah.
You can get up.
But anyway, there's it looks like it's a bit of fun, but it hasn't been enough to drag me in. I haven't tried it. I've been too busy with other things. I've got so much going on.
It's once again, it just goes back to that switch off sort of thing. Had a bit of a play of it over the weekend. And haven't touched it yet the last couple of days, but it's been a bit of fun.
Pretty good, very good. I've got some more news. How about Rage 2 has been announced, and they've got a gameplay trailer up as well. Look, forgive my ignorance here, but wasn't Rage like a massive flop? I don't know. Anyone play that?
Yeah, I did. I played it. I really liked it. Having said that, there were some major issues with it.
What type of game was it? I don't even know.
It was a first-person shooter.
Yeah, it's pretty much a Mad Max rip, isn't it?
But was it like an open world, like Borderlands?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was a prettier version of Borderlands. No, that's probably cruel. It's a more realistic version of Borderlands, graphically speaking. It was open world in a very, very small world, which was part of the issue. It was very repetitive. You ended up so you were this person that fell out of a drop pod from a war that ravaged the world or whatever. You were saved in a pod. You fall down. You get woken up by a raider that's scavenging your pod, and a dude saves your ass, and you end up working for him as part of, I don't know, redemption, paying a dude back. I don't know. I save you. You're now my slave kind of thing. I don't know. Anyway, you then run around the wasteland fighting other tribes and whatnot. And then there's this overarching government corporation army that is hunting your kind, drop pod people. And so you end up fighting them as well.
So was it just single player? Was it co-op? Was it an MMO?
No, so yeah, it was predominantly a single player game. It did have a co-op feature, but it wasn't co-op in the storyline. It was more just a couple of maps that was sort of fashioned for a co-op team shooter scoring kind of system. So you just go through and see how quickly you could finish the level with a friend,
okay.
and your score is tallied up at the end, kind of thing.
Did the relative success of Rage 1 warrant a sequel? Does people want this game?
So here's where it is, right? It didn't do anything story-wise or gameplay. Like, there was nothing amazing about the game itself. What was really good about Rage was there was some good tech behind it. And this is where it kind of got a bit lost, I think. id Software had this. It was the first thing they put. What's the super? What was it called? I'm trying to think.
What did it do?
Super something mapping. It's a type of way of texturing the game where you didn't repeat stuff, repeat textures and stuff like that through the game. You could actually create individual textures for everything.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I think I know what you mean. Yeah. So you look at the ground and it's not just the exact same thing. Like sometimes when you look at grass or dirt areas, you can tell that it's tiled.
Yeah, right. So it was a way of doing that without the game being super impossible to play, kind of thing. Anyway, so that was kind of their baby, and they were trying to get the game around that. And I think they kind of got a bit sidetracked about getting the tech out, where they kind of lost a bit of vision on the story and the gameplay. Having said that, when I played it, I remember thinking the AI in the game was for the time was really smart. I remember the first bad guy I came across in one of the lairs. I was walking through a corridor and this guy stepped out at the other end of the corridor and charged me. So naturally I pulled out my pistol and went to shoot him, and the smartass leaped, grabbed onto the ceiling and swung himself towards me. Completely missed the shot. And I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that, and it sort of caught me off guard. But I was like, I'll remember that for next time. And the next time I was in a similar situation, I sort of aimed so I could sort of predict where he was going to jump, but instead he actually slid sideways against the wall and slid along the wall and came at me. So the AI had a lot of movement stuff that I hadn't seen before in a first-person shooter at that time. So there were some things that made it unique and made it really sort of cutting at the time, but the lack of story and the size and the repetitiveness just really didn't help its cause. It felt a little lackluster.
Well, I watched the gameplay trailer of Rage 2. It definitely looks good. It looks cool. And look, the Andrew WK trailer song definitely amped it up a bit with a cool sort of pump-up action style trailer. Looks good. I reckon
I mean, go back to the Rage trailer. It was very similar. It was that sort of really heavy metal kind of pumped up, in your face, let's get amped kind of thing. They were playing off the fact that it was running on Quake engine. They were using a lot of that hype as well, the whole Quake thing, and at the time. But yeah, I'm excited for it because I played the original one. I liked where the original one's going. I guess it's kind of like Assassin's Creed. The first one is terrible because the mechanics are a bit broken and it's very repetitive. It's
and
very
AC2
slow.
was amazing.
And then AC2 was amazing. I'm kind of hoping for the same thing here.
Yeah, that happens a fair bit in games where the first ones are usually... Well, there is a lot of cases where the first one's a good to mediocre game and then the second one comes and blows them away. I mean, Uncharted, the first one was good, but had a lot of problems, and then Uncharted 2 came and just blew it out of the water. So yeah, it happens a fair bit. And I guess it's them testing the waters to see if it's a viable idea and then thinking, right, we can build on this, and then blowing it away. So it could be good.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because there's been a lot of games that have now played on that theme since then. So there's Borderlands, there's Mad Max, there's Fallout's been around for a while, but as a first-person shooter, it was, I think, Rage it was about that time anyway. I think it was 2007 that it came out. It was 2007. It doesn't matter. Either way, sometime around there.
That was so long ago.
Yeah.
All right, I've got another bit of news that I'll get this one out of the way. The Sony Vita is dead. Okay, that's kind of...
Should we have 5 seconds of silence?
No, absolutely not, because Sony has treated treated the Vita like an absolute bastard child, so why should we treat it any better than Sony did? Sony is shutting down the production of the PlayStation Vita cartridges, essentially rendering any new games physically dead. They're still going to keep the digital store going, but I'd pretty much be happy enough to say that they're not going to be making any games. They'll happily support it as a platform for indies to put their games on, but I reckon that's about it. And you know what? I think it'd be nice if Sony would come out and announce this shit rather than news articles coming out from backyard sources saying this is what's happening. They're no longer making this stuff. I think it's a bit pathetic.
It's kind of like breaking up with your girlfriend by a text message.
It's like breaking up with your girlfriend because she's pregnant.
But with a text message.
With a text message, yeah. Sorry, I no longer want to be with you anymore, Sharon, because you're up the duff.
Hashtag life sucks, poopy emoji.
Yeah. Hashtag got a PS4, eat a dick.
Wow, you're more brutal than me.
Hey, I can't be any more brutal than its actual parents. Come on.
This is true.
I've got a Vita. That has so much potential. The games that are on it that play... Borderlands 2 runs on it. You could put so many... There's an Uncharted game. Golden Abyss is brilliant on it. Could you imagine if they actually developed for that thing and made games to play on it that actually use the hardware? There's a Killzone game on there that's actually pretty cool as well. They can make great games on that platform. They just don't.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know. I think they just conceded defeat to the 3DS. But yeah, I really don't know. And you know why I don't know? Because they haven't told anybody. They kind of just act like it doesn't exist. You know, they're also no longer giving Vita games on PS Plus. I don't know if that's come through yet, but it's definitely been canned. Next year?
Next year, I think it's January or February they can.
Yeah, that does ring a bell. So yeah, that's happening. So they do all these things that make you sort of hint towards what's actually happening, but they don't come out and go, you know what, we're not going to make it anymore. Here's the Vita 2. No, not happening.
Here's the Vita VR.
Hello. Yeah, that's all I've got. That's all I've played as well. I've only played State of Decay 2 this week, and the other one I can't talk about, and that's it for me. So, Rem, have you played anything?
I have been mostly watching is the word I'm going to go with because I can't say the other word at the moment.
Fight Club.
Yeah. I think spectating was the word I was looking for. But I mean, for me, mostly it's just been playing mobile phone games.
What are you playing?
I'm currently playing a Harry Potter game that's come out recently. It's actually had a lot of hype around it. So I was interested to check it out. It's called Hogwarts Mystery. And it plays on the concept of you can take on the role of a Hogwarts student from year one. You learn charms and potions and things like that. You learn, like, you know, riding a broomstick and all that sort of stuff. And there's a storyline that follows through where you've got, you know, your friend that you make, and then you've got your villain who you've got to work against, or, you know, all while working your way through the teachers and trying not to get in trouble and trying to get house points for whichever house that you're assigned to. It's simplistic. It's not a difficult game to play, and it runs mostly on like having energy points that accrue over time. So there's only so much of it you can play at any one time. You certainly can't sit there and play it for hours and hours.
What is it? Is it a card game? Is it what are we talking about?
No, it's like a interactive kind of. It's you're basically just tapping the screen to either expend energy points and do things, or to have conversations, or to cast spells, or whatever it is. So it's a mix of like tapping on an interface, or tracing shapes on the screen, or whatever it might be, or answering general knowledge questions that a Hogwarts student should know. So it does sort of pander to fans of Harry Potter a lot.
Is that you? Are you a fan of Harry Potter?
I mean, I'm not a diehard fan. I'm not a pothead, but I enjoy the movies and the general gist and storyline.
Did you say I'm not a pothead?
Not a pothead, yeah.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
That means something different where I come from.
I know.
Yeah, us old people know it for a completely different reason.
All right,
So it's good. It's the kind of game that has an allure for any Harry Potter fan, but is also general enough where even if you don't know all the ins and outs of the ethos and lore, you're still gonna be able to enjoy the game and get something out of it. So yeah, I've been sort of tinkering with that over the last week or so.
All I know is that Hermione Granger's an adult now in real life, so she's fair game. She is, isn't she?
Yeah.
I mean, she grew up, but other people did too.
You're saying I'm still too old? You're never too old to troll the internet.
Yeah, no comment.
Righto. So there you go. There's that game on iOS, and I don't know, might be on Android too.
Yeah. Now, has anyone heard of Airtasker?
Yes.
Yes.
We can go on and put a post up or something, and someone will come along and help you. So on Airtasker today, a tester for a CyberLife Android has been wanted.
Yeah, so it's a job thing, right? Sorry, I just want to make sure people know what that is. Airtasker is a thing. If you've got a chore that you need done, I need somebody to come and build my new wall cabinet from IKEA, or I need somebody to come and mow my lawns. Put a thing on Airtasker, and other people can go, yeah, I'll do that, and I'll come and do it for like $50 or whatever.
That is not where I thought you were going with this, but that's still just as... No, it's not as bad.
What do you think it was, Airtasker?
No, I know what Airtasker is. It's not where I thought he was going with this story. I thought someone was going to put up an Airtasker that they, level up your Fortnite character or something like that.
Oh, right. No, keep going. What's it about, CyberLife?
Yes, a tester for a CyberLife Android wanted. Are you always the first to buy the latest gadgets and the newest tech to make your busy life easier? Do you know who Isaac Asimov or Arthur C. Clarke are? Are you interested in artificial intelligence and the future that androids have in our society? If this sounds like you, then this is the opportunity to be part of a social experiment involving a CyberLife Android. Might just suit your circuitry. I'm Nick, and I work at PlayStation Australia. To celebrate the launch of Detroit Become Human on PS4, we're on the hunt for one lucky Aussie to help test the latest in CyberLife Android technology while it performs basic tasks such as taking a dog for a walk. Your role for the day will include teaching our Android to perform basic tasks correctly, minding our Android whilst they integrate with society, troubleshooting Android responses to simple instructions, recording the reactions of members of the public on meeting our Android.
So
this is the thing.
Very intriguing to see what the Android is.
So they want a nanny.
Well, yeah, so Sony has put out a call on Airtasker for someone to come and test, in quotes, a Android for the day.
Yeah.
Guess how much they'll pay you?
Well, I know. I can't really guess.
Oh, well, yeah, true. Okay, I have put it up on the page. $500.
So a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, pretty much. Not a pro.
Not a pro.
You're not worth that much.
Yes, so
glorified nanny.
I have made an offer.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's something for Detroit Become Human. It's there's full information up on the website along with a link to the Airtasker page. It is closing on the 21st, which is Monday. So once this goes live, you'll have pretty much a day to do it, to get on and check it. And yeah.
So what do you make an offer? What?
Yeah, you pretty much just put on there and say, yeah, I'll do it. And then they go through and pick which one they want to do.
Oh, okay. I don't want to do it. It sounds like work.
Could be a bit of fun. So yeah, it's all a big, a bit of media hype. They're filming it. They're actually doing it on on the 21st. So you'll need to be in Sydney and available for the day on Monday. Yeah, sounds like a bit of fun.
Link's in the podcast description.
Link is in there. Have a look. See what you think. I've got one other thing to talk about. If
Go for it.
A movie that seems to be suitable for us to have a quick chat about.
Okay.
Ready Player One.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. For anyone out there who is a bit of a geek, bit of a nerd, whatever you want to call it, enjoys pop culture or anything in the gaming world, you need to see Ready Player One.
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. Yeah, 100%. You need to see it.
Yep.
Agreed.
I reckon you could go through one of those frame by frame things with a DVD.
I intend on doing that when it comes out.
And pick every sort of reference in there. So pretty much at the core of it, Ready Player One is they've created a online virtual world that everyone lives in called the Oasis. And when you go into the Oasis, you can be what you want to be. So throughout, just some of the references in it that just were unbelievable the first time you saw it. And you've got things like Freddy Krueger, Duke Nukem. You've got the Back to the Future car. There was a part because Greg and I actually went and saw it together. There was a part where we did show our age.
A part?
Well, there was one real defining part, and that's because nobody else in the cinema laughed while the two of us were pissing ourselves.
This is true.
But yeah, what did you guys think of it? I can't say enough good things about it. I got to squeal like a little girl because the Serenity was in it from Firefly, the ship. She was in it twice.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I absolutely loved it. I think I went and saw that with someone. I can't remember who. It might have been my mum, might have been my daughter.
With your mum it was?
I think, was it mum, was it? I went and saw it with me mum.
That's what you told me.
And it was good. Yeah, the story kind of reminded me of something I've sort of experienced before, but just told in a different light, and it's not a bad thing. I thought it was good.
You probably read the book at school and just don't remember it.
No, I didn't read anything. I read
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
I read Lord of the Flies in school. That's it. And even then, I sort of skimmed it just enough so I could do me book reports every week.
I can honestly say Lord of the Flies and this has nothing in common.
Nothing.
I'm not even sure I'd reference Lord of the Flies as a pop culture reference.
No.
It's one of the few that it missed.
I also read The Hobbit.
Also, I don't remember The Hobbit being in this, but anyway.
No, but that's just all I've read. So I know. Oh, and I read the Kyle Sandilands biography, and I've read the Marilyn Manson biography as well. That's about the only things that I've read in my entire life, if you don't count things like the back of the air freshener in the toilet when I forget my phone.
That is actually quite amazing. If those are the only things you've read.
Yeah,
I've read lots of comic books.
I don't read books. I can't read them. You know what happens when I read a book? I'm reading it going.
You heard it here first, folks. You can't read.
I'm reading the book and I'm like, oh, this is really interesting, and then my mind starts thinking, you know what you could be doing right now? Heaps of other stuff.
You know, this book would be so much better with a controller.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish Telltale had turned this into a game already.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So if I'm ever going to read a book,
I'm emailing Telltale. Lord of the Flies. That's your next game.
I don't know. I need to be somewhere without electricity.
You need to get you like a book holder that has a controller grip
very short
on the bottom.
books, you'd like to see video games.
Yeah, but no. So I don't read. I wish I could. I wish I had that sort of mindset because I do enjoy reading. I just can't get through them because I just need short stories, really, with pictures.
Well, one reference that was made in the movie that only just sort of clicked with me last week or so. There's one part where they use the Zemeckis cube.
Okay.
And yeah, it didn't actually click that why it was actually called the Zemeckis cube because it turns back time. Yeah, it didn't click with me at the time. Shocking. Yeah, and they even play the music in a little bit. So the Zemeckis cube turns back time. Robert Zemeckis made Back to the Future.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Nice.
Yep.
Lost on me.
Get out and watch it. It's good fun.
Very quickly,
Sure.
I just found out that Metal Gear Solid 5 is this month's free game with gold.
Yes, it is.
I've just found that interesting since it's so close to its release date. They don't usually bring them out this quickly for free.
Microsoft is trying.
Yeah, look, they jump on it. I think it's still an $80 game.
PlayStation had it for nothing for a few months ago.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you can't play it anymore.
What?
Isn't that how that works?
No.
PlayStation?
No.
Oh, you guys get to keep it now too?
Always has.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like we've had this conversation before and I just didn't learn from the last time we had this conversation.
Possibly.
We're listening.
But is Metal Gear Solid, was that a Plus game?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Ground Zeroes?
No, it was Metal Gear 5. It was a Plus game.
Are you sure?
Yep, I'm sure. I actually went and sold my hard copy.
Oh, okay. I thought it was only Ground Zeroes it was, but all right, I'll take
Ground
the word for
Zeroes
it.
was, and the other one was too.
Well, Ground Zeroes was ages ago on the PS.
Yeah, and it was only in the last couple of months that 5 was.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Either way, it's free. Grab it.
Good recommendation. Fantastic game. All right, let's move on to the next segment called What If? All right, whose segment is this that I stole again? Is this one of yours, Greg?
This is usually mine, but
Okay.
obviously I've been busy, so you've made your own.
I wasn't sure you were coming on this week, so I've been stealing your ideas and using them.
That's all right.
No, they're free for the world.
free to
Well,
free
not
to
for the
play.
world, free for us.
Free for us. Not for
Is
the
it
world.
empty?
Not for the world.
Just add them to your library.
What
You
if?
can still use them
Yeah.
eventually.
Is there any microtransactions? All
There
right.
will be later.
Lovely. All right, this week's What If is, what if you could choose the actors to play the characters in a movie of your favourite game? Okay,
All right.
so playing along at home, go ahead. I've obviously chosen my favourite game, which is The Last of Us. Snoogs, what you prepared? Did you choose what's your favourite game?
I've got 3. I've got 3 that I've prepared for.
3?
Probably
okay.
the biggest one is actually a bit of a missed opportunity because he's probably a little old to play the character now.
Okay.
But
well, you can choose. This is What If. Like we always say, sky's the limit. You can pick
Sky's the limit.
this actor at whatever age.
All right. Well, the game is Uncharted.
Okay, yeah.
Any of them. So the Uncharted world that it's within, and the character is Nathan Fillion.
For Nathan Drake, yeah?
Nathan Drake, yes.
Okay.
So Nathan Fillion is Nathan Drake, and Bruce Campbell is Sully.
Oh, interesting. I got Bruce Campbell in one of my choices. See, what I've got... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, there was actually rumours around probably about 10 years ago that the Uncharted movie was actually going ahead with Fillion in the lead role. Now he's probably just gotten a little bit too old to play Nate, but he'd still do a good job, I reckon.
Yeah, he's got the right personality.
Yep.
He'd do a good job voicing him should Nolan, I don't know, ever quit or something. But Yeah, or if Nolan was never on the scene, he would have been a good replacement for a voice actor for him, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
He does Cade, doesn't he?
He does.
Yes.
Cade 6, yeah. There you go. All right. But yeah, with mine, what I was going to say, I've just done The Last of Us. That's the only one I've done, and I've named characters for like the whole roster, basically.
Wow.
Do you want mine now, or do you want to do one of your other ones?
No, you can do yours if you like.
All right. So I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So you guys know David?
Oh, look, it's been a while since I played, so...
David is the psychopath that Ellie... spoiler alert. Yeah, the cannibal guy, yeah. The baddie. Yep. The main boss in the game. So David, I've chosen Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, okay.
He plays a really good psycho that comes across as a nice guy. I've seen him in a few movies like that. All right, the next one, Henry. Henry. Do you guys know Harold Perrineau? I think that's how you say it. Perrineau? Perrineau? You know him?
No.
He's Mercutio in Romeo and Juliet, or Michael in Lost.
Oh, yes.
Looks exactly like him. Even the same hairdos most of the time. So he's the choice for Henry. Bill?
He's also the narrator in Oz.
Oz?
Yeah, the TV show Oz.
I don't know the show, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Bill from Bill's Town and all that sort of stuff? The big dude with the big machete and stuff that helps Joel and all that later on? That's who I chose, Bruce Campbell. I think he'd do very good as Bill. For those that don't know, Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead fame and a few other things. Tommy, which is Joel's brother. I chose Josh Holloway. Do you know who that is?
No.
Not a big actor. He is Sawyer from Lost. That's two Lost people that I've chosen.
Yeah, okay. He could work.
Yeah, James Ford. Now, Ellie. My decision for that was any Caucasian female. That's
I honestly don't think you could do Ellie with anyone but
Ellen Page.
Or either Ellen Page or the actual voices are.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I've written here was any Caucasian female child, ... definitely not Ellen Page.
You couldn't have Ellen Page anyway because she tried to sue.
Yeah, they had to change her looks before the game came out.
The original
I'm
game...
just going to put it out there. If that's the resort, that's where they had to resort to avoid being sued, I'm going to suggest that we might be on the money here.
No, well, that's
even to the
opinion.
point where they pushed it further because in the same general time that Ellen Page came out of as being gay was the same time that the first lot of DLC dropped.
Yeah, I know.
And that just compounded the issue. That there was so many similarities between the two.
Ellen Page was just dirty because her game was received poorly compared to The Last of Us. She's just a sook. I can't stand her. The hairdo is probably the most recognisable thing that resembles Ellen Page. I don't like Ellen Page, as you can obviously see. She pissed me off.
Picked up.
And getting that vibe.
I think she's a rotten actor. I don't like her work.
I missed that.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Tess. Who I chose for Tess is Carrie-Anne Moss. Matrix?
Yep.
Matrix?
Yep.
What was that? What did you say? That was like this.
It could work.
Oh, right. Okay, last one. Oh, sorry, not last one. Second last one. Marlene. Zoe Saldana is Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I think she'd make a good Marlene.
Yeah, sure.
And for Joel, Hugh Jackman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Old
I see that.
He's got the age. I think he would look good and do well to play Joel.
So I got a few as well. So I got 3 movies as well. So my first one, actually linking back to my mention of Metal Gear, I thought I cast Kurt Russell as Solid Snake.
Ah,
He already has been.
he already has
Really?
played.
Really?
Snake Plissken.
Snake Plissken,
Oh,
yeah.
no. Okay. I did say solid.
He's solid Snake Plissken.
Yeah, solid Snake Plissken. I figured he's got the coiffed, the feathered hair. He can be grumbly and grumpy,
I
and
think he could do it, yeah.
and yeah, I think he's the right age at the moment. He looks old and grey, and he looks pretty. He can still be badass, even at this age. So that's my first one. My second one is Army of Two, and I decided that. So the two main characters is there's the big dude and the smaller dude is Rios, the big dude, and Salem, the small dude, and they fight together back to back. So the big dude had Rios as the Rock because he's got that stature, and I think he can also do the gruffness of Rios. And I needed someone with a little bit that had smaller stature. It was a bit more of a smart ass, and I was tossing up between Charlie Hobden and Aaron Paul, and Aaron Paul just edged him out slightly. So, for those who don't know who Aaron Paul is, think Breaking Bad, Need for Speed,
Central Intelligence with The Rock.
Yep. Look, they've already acted together, so they've got a rapport. This is a great movie already.
The ball is rolling.
Ball is rolling. And my last one it's actually a bit of a cheat, but Remutha and I were obviously discussing where we thought our ideas were going with this, and we were talking about, we came up with the idea of Destiny, and I said, if I was going to make a Destiny movie, I would still cast the Ghost with Nolan North as the voice, right? But somewhere in the movie, I would have a cameo of Dinklebot, and I'd want them to run into each other, or particularly my best idea that I had, because I ran a few ideas of this cameo with Remutha. The best idea I had was Dinklebot would come along and obviously look exactly like Nolan Bot, and would bump into the Guardian, and would go to say something to them, and then go, "Oh, hang on, I thought you were someone else," and then float away. And that would be it. And only, obviously, people who play Destiny would go, "Oh my goodness," it's, and see the funny side to it. So, yeah. So those are my options. Those are my what ifs.
Very good. Very good. Rem, did you have any?
Not additional to that, no.
No, that's all right. You got a leave pass.
I've got two others.
I'll go.
they're-
What have you
both-
done? Is
They're
Snoogs?
both kind of cheats. Yeah, you over there, the one with the deep voice.
Oi, you.
They're both a little bit of a cheat because there is actually rumours that these people are already signed on to play these movies. So The Witcher with Mads Mikkelsen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, what?
That's
Yep.
Like, really?
Yep. Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
like?
well, there's
Look, I speak out of school here because I don't generally look at men and go, oh gosh. But Mads Mikkelsen's not exactly gorgeous, is he?
Neither is Geralt.
Is not
When he's
Geralt
done-
meant to be like this, like most amazing? Like, yeah, he's all scarred up and looks a bit hideous, but isn't he like a bit of a pretty dude with a ponytail?
I wouldn't have called him pretty. I guess he has appeal of some sort, but I wouldn't say he's a pretty man.
Fair enough.
His sex
if you
appeal
actually-
comes from somewhere else.
if you actually Google Mads Mikkelsen Witcher,
Mm.
you'll see why it fits.
Yeah, someone's already done a composite, haven't they?
Because
Yeah,
It's
someone's already
amazing.
done the whole coming soon to Netflix bull.
Yeah, but it looks so good.
Because I did a Witcher knock up for a TV show or a movie a little while ago, and I chose that WikiLeaks guy. What was his name?
Julian Assange.
Julian Assange.
Oh my god.
Mads Mikkelsen as the Witcher.
No.
Oh, that's not bad.
See? That works.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah, okay. In my head, it didn't work at all, but looking at this...
Yeah, now you've seen it. Oh, yeah.
Well, Mads Mikkelsen in my head was uglier than he is in real life. He's actually not that bad.
Oh, that's because it's probably you've still got the what's that weird baby one? He looks pretty feral in that. The game.
Yeah, I probably am thinking of
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. Yeah, probably. Yeah, he does look a bit sick in there. But yeah, no, looking at him here, it's all good. He's not. He'd be an all right choice.
Yeah, he's got the gruffness and the don't take no bullshit sort of passion about him too.
Yeah, so I reckon that could work. And the other one I've got is this person sort of starting to actually make a bit of a name of himself in acting. So it's Duke Nukem, played by John Cena.
I was going to mention that because I was trying to work out who I would have as Duke Nukem, and I just couldn't. Most of the actors that I thought had the personality didn't have the look. And most of the ones that had the look didn't have the personality. So it'd be interesting to see where John Cena goes with it. He's going to have to be a little less John Cena.
Oh, I don't know. I reckon it'd mesh well.
It'd be close.
Yeah,
it'd be close.
It'd actually come down to who's directing it, I think, because it would be they'd have to use the source material but bring it into the current century.
Can we get the guys that made Deadpool?
Thor? Or either that or Thor Ragnarok.
I just looked up
the bloke who did that.
Actually, yeah,
he was good.
Just looked up John Cena as Duke Nukem on my porn machine. No one played Duke Nukem. No.
Yeah. It's time to kick ass gum.
No,
I'm all out of gum.
That line was actually from what was that game called? Oh, I can't remember. Brain's not working. Well, it was a game where they reskinned it, and redid all the lines where your character looked and sounded like Duke Nukem.
Oh, yeah.
People Can Fly game.
Also, I had another idea. If I was making a movie in the 80s, I would make Wolfenstein, and I would cast Dolph Lundgren as DJ Blazkowicz.
Yes.
He's perfect for that. He's so perfect.
If you were making it in the 80s, you could still use... You could have used Arnie.
Yeah, but I kind of like... I like Lundgren for the look. He's got that Aryan look to him, whereas... Yeah,
I suppose, yeah. He's got that.
If you blonde Arnie's hair, he looks like... ass.
Bulletstorm.
That's not convincing.
Bulletstorm is the name of the game I was thinking of.
Bulletstorm, yep.
There you go. Was there one more, or I lost count there?
No, that's it for my ones.
Alrighty. Okay, let's move on to What's That Sound? Alright, last week's What's That Sound? I don't think did I end up telling you what it was, Snoogs?
I think so, but I couldn't tell you what it was.
I don't think I did. Rem and Greg, did you guys have a listen?
No, I didn't get to.
I haven't listened to it yet, no.
Okay, have a listen now. This was last week's What's That Sound? What do you think?
Oh my gosh. I just turned the volume up as you did that. Loud.
And you didn't need to.
No, I so didn't need to.
Well, you heard it well. What do you think it is?
I have no idea.
Greg?
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank at the moment.
Okay, that one was actually a necromorph from Dead Space.
I wouldn't have known that anyway.
Really? Snoogs should add that one. He was the Dead Space player.
Yeah. And I should and the whole, theory of what's Luke been playing this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true.
You got to keep in mind what's going on in my week, because I use my influences. All right, have a listen to this week's What's That Sound?
Scary.
There's an awful lot of people in here.
Please, Dad, can I have one? I would really love to have one. Please, Dad, come on.
Okay, let's go buy a balloon.
Great!
Let's go buy a what?
A balloon. I know what that is.
Seriously, if you just recorded me and my son at the shopping center,
Please, Dad, can I have one?
But I love the balloon. Why?
But I'd love to have
Why can't I have one? Why?
Rem, did you say you knew what it was?
Yeah, I know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling I might know.
I know what it is.
Oh.
It's closely followed with Jason!
Jason!
Yes. Jason! That's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, I think you all know what this week's What's That Sound is then. Well done.
Yes.
And without letting
Most
anything...
annoying quick turn event.
Without letting anything go, you guys can see why that's this week's What's That Sound?
Absolutely.
Yes.
There you go. Maybe they're going to get easier. They're going to get easier from here on in, maybe. All right. Well, that was this week's What's That Sound. If you think you know what it is, then send us a message to our Facebook page, and you might be able to get yourself something for free. If you are correct or incorrect, sometimes it just doesn't matter. That's how it works along here. All right. Well done, guys. You got that one right. Let's move into the last segment of the show called Last Words. Right, Snoogs. We really want to know who the said that. Say it again. What was it?
A hero need not speak. When he is gone, the world will speak for him.
You said that we would all know it.
Yeah, it's Master Chief.
Ah.
Of course it is.
Yeah, but when did he say that? I've only played like two of his games.
I've got it written down as just Halo,
it.
so I think it was the first one.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Actually, that's one of the ones I played. And another thing that we're waiting the entire show for is what's the name of the bubbling bundle of joy for Rem and Greg?
So I guess this week's last word from me is...
Dun, dun, dun.
He's Googling it. He's forgotten.
You're typing. I'm not.
No, that wasn't me. I'm not typing.
That was me. It's all right. It's all right. I was replying
I was going to say, I'm not in front of a computer, so I can't type. Now we're just dragging it out. It's Zoe. Our daughter is called Zoe.
That's a beautiful name. I like it, and hence the me saying on Discord suggesting her name was Gamora.
Yes, it was very sneaky on your behalf.
I do sneaky things sometimes. Gets me in trouble.
Thankfully, it didn't get you in trouble this time. No one was smart enough to work out your cryptic clue.
They're always very cryptic.
Not everyone can get into the mind of Lucas.
No, sometimes I can't get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you to everyone that wished us good, happy trails and good fortune, and wished us well.
Wish you well.
That's wished me well. That's it.
Yeah, quite a few people wishing you well, which is really nice.
It was really nice. You guys, all of you, that really took an interest in it, and genuinely seemed really upset when I wouldn't tell you until right now what the name was. It just goes to show how much you guys care, and both Rem and I really appreciate that. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. You become part of the furniture in here.
Yes, definitely. And yeah, so, and for those of you who want to know our other two children's name, it's Thomas and Charlie. So we now in order have Thomas, Charlie, and Zoe.
Oh, very cute. Oh, and right on time, Kazakal jumps in to catch the name of the baby.
Good timing as always.
Yes, very good. All right. Ram, Snoogs, any last words?
Nothing from me, mate.
Okay.
No. I need sleep. That's about it.
Oh, I bet you do. Thank you very much to everybody who's listened to, and specifically to those that are still listening now, because you've got all the way to the end of the podcast, which is really cool. And go on to our Discord. There's a link in the description. Go into our Discord, go into the podcast general, and type in come up with a word. What's a word that we can get them to type in to show, hey, I listened right to the end. Peanut butter. Harlot. Peanut butter harlot.
Guess that. Let's go with that.
A peanut butter harlot. Go in there, type that into Podcast General once you've listened to this, and we'll know that you're one of the guys or gals that listened right to the end, and I'll put a little Lucas face on you. We'll
do the knowing wink and nod.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all we've got for today. So thank you, Rem, Greg. I really appreciate you guys coming to join the show, even though I know you guys are probably busy and you're probably muting yourselves through the show to look after Bubs and all that sort of stuff. Good work with that. I appreciate the effort. Snoogs, thank you very much for our awesome session of State of Decay 2 last night, and also for the show and everything that you do.
No worries.
That's all I've got. Thank you very much. I am Lucas.
I'm Remutha.
I'm Grejio.
And I have been Snoogs. See you all next time. Peace.
Bye.
Well, here we are once again at the end of this week's show. If you're still hungry for more video game content, then head over to the Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page and give us a like. We also have a heavy presence over on Twitter and YouTube, and their links are waiting for you in the podcast description. This podcast is available for your convenience through Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and more. Thanks again for listening. Catch you all on the next episode of the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.